Hey folks, what's going on? It's Coach Gavin here from Trainer for Warriors Kildare. So today I want to discuss to you in these next few videos our school bag workout. And this is a workout we put together for our Warrior Fit crew that we're doing our 8-week transformation with. And the whole goal was to show them things that they could do at home. So exercises that they would master in the gym and be able to carry back to where they live and still be able to get their workouts in. Because sometimes if we have a lot of parents with young families on the course, so they're finding it kind of hard to get that balance right of being able to come out and get their session in. So we kind of tell, well look, if that's the main hurdle that's stopping you from achieving your goal, why not try and find a way around it? And with most exercise videos at home then as well, they'll do with no weights at all, which is perfectly fine. Or they'll end up using say water bottles or sugar bags or tins of fruit or whatever. The concept is great, but the application isn't really enough to bring on enough of a change that you're looking for. So that's why we kind of came up with the school bag approach as well. So again, because you drive past any school or when you're dropping your kids off and look at how big some of the school bags are then as well. The kids are falling backwards with them on the back. The bag is nearly twice the width of the child. So grab the school bag, fill it with school books or clothes or something that's going to give it a bit of weight but still be structurally sound. So again, so we've taken the school bag here, alright? And again, there's enough of weight in it. There's maybe 4 or 5 kilos in that bag, give or take, okay? And basically you're going to see us using the bag as well to complete some of our basic movements then as well. That's still going to target your chest, your arms, your tummy, your back, your bum, your legs, the front of your legs, and can be used to get your heart rate and your conditioning up then as well. So what we have on the board here is kind of like our starting points then as well. So you'll need a school bag or a sports bag. So if the school bag isn't enough then as well, you can go and take a sports bag then as well. And again, you'll see this is a little loose, so we should probably fill it a bit more and then it'll have a bit more structure. So when we go to lift and use it, as you see that you grab it and it folds in itself. So again, you want to make sure the bag is full, holds its shape then as well. And if you don't have either of them, a big handbag will do as well. Just fill it up with cookbooks or books, big thick items then as well. It's going to have a bit of weight behind it too. Okay? Fill it, as we said, with books or clothes and try and get it to around 5 kilos worth. If you're going to use clothes, by all means, say wrap, tinned food in it and then stack up the weight fairly quickly on it, alright? Master the basics first and then add in the bag. So we'll show you the non-weighted or the non-bagged version of these exercises. And then once you've got them under control and you've no outstanding injuries or illnesses, which again, you shouldn't be, always get them checked out before you start a new training program. Get that done, then add in the bag then as well. Then once you master that, so you've mastered the movement, you've gotten used to using the bag then as well, and you want to get a bit more of a challenge, okay? So what we do then is we would say to go and use a higher volume. So the higher volume, what we mean is do more rounds, or the fitness term for this, sets. Okay, so more rounds of the same workout. So you're pushing your body more, you're making the muscle work harder and harder each time, and you're breaking down more body fat, sweating a little more as you go on. So that's one way of making it harder as well. And the other way is doing a higher amount of reps. So reps being short for repetitions, and that basically means the amount of the same exercise you do in a row. So again, after this video, we're going to shoot the movements themselves, and then the next video after that, we'll splice them all together into one nice big long video for you. At the end of the video, we'll wipe down the board and we'll discuss what way you can piece the program together. And realistically, if you go about this the right way, you can end up, effectively using this program for weeks on end and just gradually making some small tweaks and twists to get your heart rate up, alright? An added bonus that you can do then as well is you can add in things such as jumping jacks, high knees, sprinting on the spot, seal claps, jump squats then as well. All things you can add into place to fill it out. So again, our third part of this video, or it might be a separate video altogether, will be showing you how to program this all separately and add on things as you're going along as well. So this is just going to help you break down those barriers where you think that I can't get to the gym or I have no equipment or things like that as well. And best case scenario, your next step up from the school bag workout will be to go and get a kettlebell or some dumbbells then as well. Weight wise, kettlebell wise, let's go for no less than a 5. Anything less than a 5, it may as well be a doorstop, okay? Dumbbell wise, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Anywhere in that bracket then as well. And there's so many places selling home fitness equipment nowadays. You can get them at a good price and they're very durable. And sometimes that's what works well. Go see your coach, get assessed, see what physical issues you may or may not have. Because if your knees or hips aren't moving right, squatting, deadlifting, lunging is going to be very tricky. So get that part right and then come in and do it. So it's like, again, it's got prequel to the film then as well, okay? So do this bit first and then you'll be able to do the second part, alright? Again, go see your coach, go get assessed, go get everything looked at and sorted, and then build onto it as you go along. So don't try and put the cart before the horse. Alright, so folks, we're going to knock it off here. Next one you see is going to be videos where we're going to demonstrate it, alright? So again, so we'll have the exercises, what it is, how to do it, also what it looks like when you're doing it as well. And of course, if you're following this workout and you have any questions at all, just email us or get in touch then as well, or comment on the video below as well, and we'll send you the feedback then as well. But if you're living in the Naas, Newbridge area or even slightly further afield, take the time to come in and see us and we'll go through an assessment with you in person for free. Just so we can kind of work through any issues you may or may not have, because at the end of the day, guys, you know, coaches are there for a reason to help you get to where you want to get to. Alright guys, I'll see you in a few minutes. Take care. Bye. Alright folks, so we're going to start off with a squat then as well. It's going to help with your hip, ankle and knee mobility, so how well all those three joints move. Working on your quads, engaging your core, keeping that nice and strong over time, your bum and your hamstrings, okay? So I'm going to teach you to slide on it first. I'm going to stand with my feet together, separate my feet outside my hips, turn my feet just a little to the side, keep my eyes looking straight ahead, shoulders back. Give my tummy a little squeeze, bend my knees, sit down as low as I comfortably can, okay? And as you get better, this will come lower and lower each time. So don't feel the pressure or the need to come all the way up and down. Now, only a half movement like this isn't great then as well. So if needs be, put a chair behind you, sit down into the chair and stand back up then each time for your reps. Again, side on, this is what it looks like. Feet together, step out to the side. Turn my toes out to the side just a little bit. Eyes are forward, shoulders are back, tummy's engaged a little bit, okay? I'm going to bend my knees, my bum's going to come back, and I'm going to look to get to a parallel position. So that's where my knee and my hip is at the same level then as well. If you start to find that this happens, where you start to curve your back over, reset, stand up nice and tall, engage your core, so squeeze it a little tight, and then start off as you go along. And if needs be, keep your hands on your chest and on your tummy just to start with. So you're keeping them in nice, steady position as you're going. If your eye line starts to come down to the floor, your body's going to start to tip over in that fashion. So that's the first one up, which is our squat. Again, master the basic part of that first, and then come back around and start adding in the bag to it then as well. So the bag version is going to be very simple. Give me 2 seconds. Shoulder bottom closer. So take the backpack, hold it in your hands nice and tight across the body. And everything goes the exact same. Feet together, out past your hips, looking straight ahead. Sit down, stand up nice and easy. Sit down. Again, we're looking for that parallel position, folks. Knees and hips level with one another. Down and up. Nice and steady. And when you're coming back up, come all the way up. Don't kind of come to a point where your hips are still kicking out. That's with the backpack, okay? And then of course you can move up to the sports bag. Slightly bigger. Making it in the arms. And like I said, fill it out a bit more. And just hold the hands away from the body as you're going nice and easy. Up and down. Alright guys, so that is our squat done, and as we said before, master the basics, then add one bag, do more with that bag, and then go on to a next bag if needs be. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video in a few minutes. Take care, bye. Hey folks, what's going on? Coach Gav here again. So next part of our school bag at home workout is the row. And the row is going to help with your back muscles, okay? So for girls, that kind of the top of that hourglass shape, or for guys, developing that V shape over time then as well, okay? So again, what we're going to look to do is going to have a couple of variations on it then as well. So the first one is where you're going to separate your feet, hinge or lean over from your hips, but still keep your body nice and tall. If you find you break in the middle of your back, so if you break like this, alright, you're not going to get any benefit from that as well. So like the squat, engage your core, keep it nice and tight and stable. Separate the feet, lean forward from the hips, and the hands are going to come forward. Raise your hands up by bringing your elbows back and pinching your shoulder blades in towards one another, and then slowly lower as you come back down. One thing to watch out for there is that when you're bringing your arms back down, you don't want to overreach and curve your back. So from here, pull in and pull out. Leaning forward into our position, pull up, pull down, nice and steady, just like that, okay? Now, that's a two-handed version, which is something you progress to over time. But you can start off with a one-handed version. So in that, I'm going to separate my feet again, take my hand and put it on the front leg. So left leg, left hand, and my right side is going to do the work. I'm going to lean forward like we said before. Again, hand is going to come down. I'm going to bring my elbow up, keep it nice and close to the body, pinch my shoulder blades in, lower it down, in and down. A nice smooth motion the whole way through them as well. And with a backpack, this is what it's going to look like. So take the bag, grab it by the straps in as well. Now if that gets too loose, just grab it literally, take a good handful of the bag then as well. Separate your feet, lean forward, engage your tummy. If you have a high table or a countertop, you can place your hand up there for a balance as well. But in this instance, we don't have it, so my hand's going to go on the leg for stability. The bag is going to hang down low, and I'm going to keep my shoulders nice and level. Bring the bag up to my chest, lower down, bag up, and lower down. As you do more rounds, you become more and more tired. One thing that can happen here is that your body, instead of being at an angle, comes all the way upright, and then we're no longer doing the motion for our back that we're looking for. So again, separate our feet, hand on the leg, lean forward. And as we're going through, we start to get more and more tired, so we come up here. If this is what it looks like, we're not doing it right. So lean forward and pull through. Alright? The next variation off of that then as well will be to go with your feet side by side instead of forwards and backwards. So side by side, I'm going to take the bag in two hands in this situation, push my bum back, eyes to the floor, and the bag hangs down here. From this position then, I'm going to pull to my chest, lower it all the way back down, back up to my chest, and down. Stand tall when you're finished and place the bag back down. A couple of things that can happen, instead of the split stance, so one leg forward and one leg backward, or the parallel stance, so both feet together, is that as you go along, your lower back might get a little stiff and sore. So when we're in this position, our body starts to pull back up subconsciously without realizing it, and then we're a lot higher than we need to be, and again, we're not doing the move that we're trying to do. So if you find it happens, just go back to the split stance. It's both perfectly fine. The back muscle is still getting a workout. If you're looking to move up and you're going to go, instead of just a sports bag, instead of the backpack, you go to the sports bag. Grab the bag at either end, bum goes back, body comes forward. And a nice wide grip, bring the bag up and down to your chest every time. Alright guys, that's two exercises in the books then as well. Remember, master the basics first and then start to add in the bags as you go along. If you have any problems doing any exercises, please get in touch so we can correct them and you're doing it nice and safely. See? Okay. Hey folks, Coach Gavin here again, training for TFW Kildare. So next exercise in our school bag workout is going to be the deadlift. Now the deadlift is one of the best exercises out there for improving the strength of your core, shape of your hamstrings, shape of your butt, and generally it's a pretty good move to be able to do. Now, the main thing here to remember is that you're not sitting down into it, okay? You're going to hinge from the hip. So I'm going to turn sideways here. And what you're going to watch for is that at the joint of the hip here, I'm always going to bow forward, keep my shoulders back, my core nice and tight. And you see that almost that reverse L shape in my body then as well. Sometimes what can happen here is that we end up sitting down into it then as well. So you're going to keep the shoulders back nice and tall, separate the feet like you do with the squat. Push your bum backwards, keeping your shoulders back, nice and steady. A lot of times people ask, should I touch the floor? And the answer is, if your hamstrings are flexible enough, yes. But we don't coach people to go reach for the floor, because if we say that, most likely you'll do it like this way. And again, you see straight away that my back ends up in a very poor position. So you're looking for it to be nice and tall, and almost like kind of how the Action Man or Barbie dolls would have moved, kicking the hips back, folding over, and coming back in. So again, master the basic movements, and then when you get that right, move on to the bags. So for this, what I would do is I would turn the bag sideways. Again, get a good grip of it, make sure it's zipped up, and keep it fully extended in front of the body. Push my bum back, let the bag slide down to the floor, coming parallel or almost rubbing against the legs. Eyes are looking ahead, and shoulders are back. So again, we'll do a few more. Bum goes back, tilts forward. Stand it all the way back up, so bring the hips in. Now don't over-arch, you'll hurt your back over time. So, back we go, and up nice and easy. It's quite it's quite an effective way to do it then as well. Sometimes gauge, come down as far as your kneecaps, and then come back up then as well. If your school bag or your backpack gets too light, as we said, upgrade to your sports bag, grab it by the ends, and it's going to cover most of your legs. But the technique's still the same. Slide back, come down as low as you comfortably can with good technique, and rise all the way back up nice and steady. So guys, that's exercise 3 of 4. Next up will be the push-up then as well, and then after that, at the end of the clip, we're going to show you how you can mix and match these exercises to come up with different routines you can keep using at home, so you don't need to leave the house, and it also destroys that myth that you have to get out to get results. Alright guys, see you in a bit. Bye. Hey folks, what's going on? Coach Gav here at Training for Warriors Kildare. So this is our 4th exercise in our mini-series on the school bag workout then as well, and it's going to be the push-up. Now, obviously, we're not going to be able to use our bags for this then as well, so what you will need is a solid table or a good countertop then as well with a bit of room to work with, alright? So, it doesn't matter if you're doing a full push-up on the floor or a push-up variation standing upright. The technique is the same in both ways, okay? So what I'm going to look to do is I'm going to place my hands on the bar here, and the bar is going to represent which would be your tabletop or your countertop, something like that as well. Step my feet back, come up on my heels, okay? By bringing my heels up, that's going to allow my body to hinge in a bit better. And what I want you to keep an eye on here, guys, is watch for my shoulder, my hip, my knee, and my ankle. Those 4 joints will all stay in line with each other the whole way. And that's the key we're looking for here for it to be considered a good push-up. So, hands on, slightly outside of your shoulder width, nothing too crazy. I'm going to bend my elbows, my body comes forward as one, my chest will touch the bar, and then lock my arms out. Again, keep an eye on the body. It comes forward together, and it comes back together. Sometimes what we can see is their backsides kick out, and they nose dive in, and that puts a lot of pressure on the shoulder joint, and it's quite bad for your back as well. Another flaw we see sometimes is kind of everyone going like a Care Bear, where the hips kick forward, and we're falling in like that. Again, bad for the back, and it's not good form. And then as time goes on, in this situation, we would move the bar lower and lower, progressing on to where someone is able to go hands on the floor. Again, watch for the shoulder, the hip, knee, and ankle. Comes down as one, comes up as one, down as one, up as one, just like that. Now, yes, there is a middle variation of coming onto your knees, but again, if we can avoid using variations, we will. So at home, start off using your countertop, bring it into your program, reshape your chest, reshape the backs of the arms in as well. And it's just a nice variation to add in some upper body strength to your program. So guys, that's the end of our 4 exercises. We will add on some more as the weeks go on, so look for a part 2 in the coming days. And then just the main thing is go and do it. Do it, see how well you get on, and gradually increase things as you go along. Any problems or questions, please get in touch, because the only dumb question is the one you don't ask. Alright guys, best of luck, talk to you soon, take care, bye.